Pause for a moment. Look out into the night sky, endless galaxies swirling in silent grandeur. Look closer at a newborn's first fragile breath. In this contrast between the infinite and the intimate, one question reverberates through every human heart. Why? Why am I here? Why was I born? Philosophers have argued. Scientists have traced atoms and genes. Religions have told countless stories of creation. But what if the answer isn't a singular moment or a cosmic decree, but rather an unfolding process, one so profound that understanding it could liberate you from the cycle itself? This isn't about some distant deity's whim. It's about the very architecture of existence, unveiled by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, more than 2,500 years ago. Buckle up. Together we'll venture into one of life's deepest mysteries, guided by insights that have illuminated countless seekers. By the end, you may never see yourself, or the fact of your birth, in the same way again. The Buddha didn't begin with speculative theories or metaphysical speculation. He began with an undeniable reality, dukkha, often reduced to suffering, but more precisely, it is dissatisfaction, stress, the persistent tension woven into everything, the bruised ego, the unfulfilled desire, the constant fear of loss, the raw truth that all conditioned things are impermanent and, ultimately, unsatisfying. Buddha saw life not as a single straight line, but as samsara, the vast, cyclical ocean of birth, death, and rebirth. This cycle isn't punishment. It is simply the consequence of how our minds operate. We are born, we age, we die, and then we arise again. But why? What drives this ceaseless turning? The engine of samsara, he revealed, is ignorance, avidya. Not ignorance in the sense of lacking information, but a deep, pervasive misapprehension of reality. We cling to what is impermanent, as if it were permanent. We chase happiness in what can never fully satisfy. We imagine a solid, independent self where only dynamic processes exist. From this confusion arises craving and aversion, constant reaching and recoiling. This is the fuel. So instead of simply asking, "Why was I born?" the question evolves, "What conditions make birth inevitable?" The Buddha's answer rests on two intertwined forces, karma, kama, and craving, tanha. Karma is often misunderstood as fate or cosmic punishment. But in truth, it's simply the law of cause and effect applied to our intentional actions. Every thought, word, and deed plants a seed. Acts rooted in compassion and clarity yield pleasant results. Those born of greed or delusion ripen into suffering. These seeds don't expire. They can sprout even lifetimes later. Yet karma alone doesn't produce rebirth. Imagine a seed drifting in the wind. Craving is the fertile ground in which it takes root. It's the relentless thirst, the craving for sensual pleasure, the craving to exist, even the craving to not exist. This craving merges with karmic momentum, propelling consciousness into a fresh life where the old tendencies play out. We are born because we haven't yet released this craving and the patterns it sustains. To fully grasp why birth, the Buddha offered one of his most penetrating teachings, dependent origination, paticca samuppada. Not just philosophy, a precise map showing how suffering arises and, crucially, how it can end. Here are the 12 links, each arising because of the previous one. 1. Ignorance, not seeing reality as it is, conditions. 2nd, volitional formations, sankharas, our ingrained tendencies and karmic impulses. 3rd, volitional formations condition, consciousness, vijnana, awareness carrying karmic imprints. 4, consciousness conditions, mind and matter, namarupa. the psychophysical organism. 5. Mind and matter condition, the six sense bases, salayatana, the senses through which we experience life. 6. The six sense bases condition, contact, phassa, where sense organ, object, and consciousness meet. 7. Contact conditions, feeling, vedana, the raw sensation, pleasant, painful, or neutral. 8. Feeling conditions, craving, tanha, the urge to grasp or resist. 9. Craving conditions, clinging, upadana, deep attachment and identification. 10. Clinging conditions, becoming, bhava, the momentum toward a specific mode of existence. 11th, becoming conditions, birth, jati, the emergence of a new life. 12th, birth conditions, aging and death, jara marana, along with sorrow, lamentation, and despair.
Do you see? Birth is not random. It is the direct outcome of becoming, itself a result of clinging, rooted in craving, stretching all the way back to ignorance. We are born because this chain, fueled by craving and confusion, remains unbroken. It is not a moral judgment, it is a natural process, like fire igniting when fuel and spark meet. This insight dissolves many common illusions. Not punishment or reward, rebirth is not a cosmic sentence. While karma shapes the quality of life, the very fact of rebirth arises from craving and ignorance. Not a test, life is not an examination set by a deity. It's the unfolding of causes you yourself set in motion. Not destiny. There is no pre-written script. Your choices shape your future within the framework of karma. Not a single purpose. While creating meaning matters, the Buddha pointed to a deeper purpose, awakening beyond the cycle itself. Most powerful of all, understanding why we're born reveals that we do not have to be reborn. There is an exit. When ignorance and craving end, so does the process of becoming. This is Nibbana, Nirvana. Not oblivion, not heaven, but the cessation of greed, hatred, and delusion. Freedom beyond all conditioned suffering. This is not mere theory. The Buddha also gave us a precise path to dismantle this chain. The Noble Eightfold Path. Wisdom, panna, right understanding and right thought. Ethical conduct, sila, right speech, right action, right livelihood. Mental discipline, samadhi, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Why walk this path? Because every step loosens the links. Mindfulness interrupts craving. Ethical action diminishes karmic burden. Wisdom uproots ignorance. Each moment of awareness, each act of compassion is a blow to the cycle that binds you. This life can be the final turning of the wheel. Reflect now. What cravings tug at your heart? What stories of self blind you? Feel the weight of samsara, but also the possibility of freedom. The path begins here, in this very moment. Will you walk it? The Buddha also emphasized the rare privilege of human birth, not because humans are special, but because this state has the perfect balance, enough suffering to inspire awakening, yet enough clarity to practice. To be born human is a priceless chance. Many squander it chasing fleeting pleasures or wallowing in confusion. Don't waste it. And perhaps the most radical insight of all, anatta, non-self. There is no fixed, eternal soul transmigrating from life to life. Instead, there is a dynamic stream of aggregates, form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness. Like a wave rising in the sea, not separate, not permanent, but a pattern of causes and conditions. When the conditions shift, the wave dissolves. So too with us. We are not reborn because a self leaps across lifetimes, but because conditions give rise to new configurations. This understanding dissolves isolation and reveals our profound interdependence. Our suffering, our actions, our awakening, all ripple across existence. Freeing ourselves benefits all beings. So, why are we born? Because the machinery of ignorance, craving, and karma keeps turning. But this knowledge is not despair. It is empowerment. It transforms why me into what now.
How might this understanding change your life today? Release the weight. You were not born to be punished or tested. You're here because of causes. This truth can ease existential anxiety. Embrace responsibility. You create the seeds of your future. This is both a burden and a liberation. Practice awareness. Watch how feeling leads to craving. Can you see it? Can you pause? This is freedom in action. Commit to the path. Every ethical choice, every moment of mindfulness, every insight into impermanence dismantles the cycle. Honor this life. Recognize the extraordinary opportunity it is. Use it well. In the end, the Buddha's answer to why are we born points beyond birth itself. It points to the profound possibility of ending all becoming. This is ultimate freedom, not from life, but from the suffering entangled in conditioned existence. We are born because we cling. We are freed when we let go, not of life itself, but of the ignorance and craving that bind us. The path is right here. The choice is yours. See the chain. Understand the cause. Practice diligently. Make this the life where you stop asking, why was I born? And begin walking the path to the peace where that question fades away. The mystery of birth is not a prison. It is a doorway. Step through. Explore. Breathe. Observe. Act with care. The end of suffering is possible, and it begins with your very next mindful breath. May all beings awaken, and may you find true freedom.